Limited company. How businesses protect their owners from business debts. Imagine starting a business. You invest your money. You work hard. You build a successful brand. But then, suddenly, the business experiences serious financial problems. The business owes more money than it can pay. Now, here is the important question. Can the business creditors take everything you personally own? In many cases, the answer is no. This is one of the biggest advantages of forming a limited company. But how does a limited company work? And why do millions of businesses choose this structure? Let's find out. What is a limited company? A limited company is a business organization that has a separate legal identity from its owners. This means the company is legally treated as a separate person from the individuals who own it. A limited company can own property, enter into contracts, borrow money, employ workers, make profits, owe money, take legal action, and have legal action taken against it. The owners of the company are usually called shareholders. The people responsible for managing the company are usually called directors. Although the exact legal rules may differ between countries, the basic idea is the same. The company is separate from the people who own it. What does limited liability mean? The word limited refers mainly to the liability of the owners. Suppose you invest $10,000 to purchase shares in a company. If the company later fails, you may lose the money you invested. However, you are generally not personally responsible for all the company's debts simply because you own shares in the company. Your financial loss is usually limited to the amount you have invested or agreed to contribute. This is known as limited liability. It is one of the most important reasons why entrepreneurs choose to form a limited company. What are the advantages of a limited company? Advantage 1. Limited liability. The first major advantage is protection for the owners. Imagine two entrepreneurs. One operates as a sole trader. The other operates through a limited company. If the businesses fail, the financial consequences may be very different. A sole trader and the business are legally connected. However, a limited company is normally treated as a separate legal entity. This separation can protect the personal assets of shareholders from ordinary business debts. This makes it easier for entrepreneurs to take calculated business risks. But remember, limited liability does not mean that shareholders are automatically protected from every business debt. For example, personal guarantees and certain forms of wrongdoing may create personal responsibility. Advantage 2. Separate legal identity. A limited company has its own legal identity. This means that the company can continue to exist even when ownership changes. For example, if a shareholder sells their shares, the company does not automatically disappear. This gives the business greater continuity. The company can continue operating, signing contracts, employing workers, and conducting business activities. This is particularly useful for businesses that want to operate over a long period of time. Advantage 3. Easier to raise capital. A limited company can raise finance by selling shares to investors. For example, a company may issue shares to new investors in exchange for capital. This can provide money to expand production, buy equipment, enter new markets, hire employees, and develop new products. Compared with some other business structures, the ability to raise capital from shareholders can support expansion. Advantage 4. Greater business credibility. Some customers, suppliers, banks, and investors may view a limited company as more established than an informal business structure. This can improve confidence in the business. A limited company may also find it easier to negotiate with suppliers or apply for certain forms of finance. However, Simply becoming a limited company does not automatically guarantee success or credibility. The business must still have strong management, good financial records, and a reliable reputation. The disadvantages of a limited company. Disadvantage 1. More legal requirements. One major disadvantage of a limited company is that it usually has more legal and administrative responsibilities. The company may need to register with government authorities, prepare financial statements, maintain company records, submit official documents, follow company law, and report important changes. These requirements can take time and may create additional costs. Disadvantage 2. More expensive to operate. Compared with a simple sole trader structure, operating a limited company can involve additional expenses. The business may need to pay for accounting services, legal advice, registration, financial reporting, and administrative support. For a small business with limited income, these costs may be significant. Disadvantage 3. Less privacy. A limited company may be required to submit certain information to public registers. Depending on the country, this information could include details about the company, its directors, or financial information. This means that the owners may have less privacy than they would have under some other business structures. Disadvantage 4. Double taxation. Profits may be taxed in different ways. A limited company is usually responsible for paying taxes on its profits. If profits are later distributed to shareholders as dividends, shareholders may also face tax obligations depending on the country's tax system. The exact rules differ between countries. Therefore, business owners need to understand the tax system before choosing this structure. Disadvantage 5. Decision-making can become more complex. In a small business owned by one person, decisions may be made quickly. However, a limited company may have several shareholders and directors. Different owners may have different interests. One shareholder may want profits to be distributed immediately. Another may prefer to reinvest profits into expansion. These disagreements can make decision-making more complicated.